Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and all the children of mothers, but especially to the mothers. We are here to examine and experience perhaps joy today. I will talk more into the mic, forgive me. I'll say it again, we are here perhaps to explore and to experience joy this morning. We have Aubrey Atwater and Elwood Donnelly. I am thrilled to have them here as our visiting ministers. I have missed them in the past, so I'm excited to be here. And now we are all here together, each in our own way, but as one, as a group. And let us now settle in to our period of worship together.
Son, I pray, let my life begin today. I promise I will go with beauty round me. Dark nights and cloudy sorrows return at last to the sunny skies of love. Troubled dreams, fold your wings and vanish. All the fears fade and pass. You told your heart there is no answer. Lies cannot hide. Time is a gift, receive it grateful. Son, I pray, let my life begin today. I promise I will go with beauty round me. Dark nights and cloudy sorrows return at last to the sunny skies of love. Well, here it comes, big red sunball rising. Hail, hail to the morning. Let the song of joy awaken the sleeping land. Through the shadows dawn comes streaming. The early birds begin their singing, and the dew upon the webs of light quivers cool and sweet. Son, I pray, let my life begin today. I promise I will go with beauty round me. Dark nights and cloudy sorrows return at last to the sunny skies of love.
Good morning, everyone. It's such a joy to see you all today. That's my first joy of the day. Now it's a time when we light the chalice. May this flame go up and remind us that our faith is good.
Every one of us should bring love to the world.
May this chalice burn with a clear flame as a symbol of a path. Through this flame, may the wisdom of ages speak to us and stay in us. And while Roger is away, we always have this second sabbatical chalice lighting. We light this flame to send and receive blessings, warmth, and light to Reverend Roger until his safe return this fall.
Good morning to you all. I'm Aubrey Atwater. This is my husband, Elwood Donnelly, and we have a long history here as members of the Unitarian Church. We were married here by Tom Alburn in 1989. We go that far back, so we're seeing some longtime friends as we visit you today. So let us prepare our hearts and minds for worship together. First, with a quote from Archbishop Desmond Tutu. We are all meant to live in joy. The path of joy does not lead away from suffering and adversity, but through it. And from American Buddhist Pema Chodron, a reading called Every Single Moment. There is a story of a woman running away from tigers. She runs and runs, and the tigers are getting closer and closer. When she comes to the edge of a cliff, she sees some vines, so she climbs down and holds on to the vines. Looking down, she sees that there are tigers below her as well. She then notices a mouse gnawing away at the vine to which she is clinging. She also sees a beautiful little bunch of strawberries close to her, growing out of a clump of grass. She looks up, she looks down, she looks at the mouse, then she takes a strawberry, puts it in her mouth, and enjoys it thoroughly. Tigers above, tigers below. This is the predicament that we are always in terms of our birth and death. Every moment is just what it is. It might be the only moment of our life. It might be the only strawberry we'll ever eat. We could get depressed about it, or we could appreciate it and delight in the preciousness of every single moment of our life. And these are some of my reflections to get started. What gives us joy? What form does joy come in? What is joy? What is our responsibility to joy? Is joy part of our job as we navigate a complex world? Play, music, nature, silliness, singing, dancing, painting, sports, community gathering, comedy, conversation, animals, foodways, gardening, and so much more. I have sometimes thought that it was disloyal to feel joyful, disloyal to suffering and hardship, to the misery of others. And in that regard, I should therefore practice a kind of asceticism and deny joy. But instead, let's consider joy as our birthright, an essential part of being human and navigating suffering, as a ballast to positive action, a way to connect, build community, energize, bolster. That delight and love of beauty and love of life in the midst of our ever-present awareness of illness and mortality and hardship are actually partners to suffering, close allies, keys to hope, strength, and forbearance. One could even say joy is our obligation, our gratitude that it is not enough just to survive or dwell, no matter what the circumstances, that we deserve to thrive and be joyful. The next song we'll sing is a very joyful song called My Bonnie, Bonnie Boat that was written in 1870, a joyous song of sense of place and purpose and love of work, written and inspired about 19th century lighthouse keeper, teenager Ida Lewis of Newport. Sing along, there's a very sweet chorus. I'll cheerly row, my bonnie, bonnie boat. Are you in C? Key of C? You need to be in C. We narrowly avoided a musical disaster just then. These are mountain dulcimers. Let me just show you so you can see. Isn't that nice? My home is on a craggy rock by the dark and briny sea, where around me rolls the changing tide and wild winds whistle free. And here in grave or gayer mood, high on the waters float, and cheerly row, and cheerly row, my bonnie, bonnie boat. And cheerly row, and cheerly row, my bonnie, bonnie boat. Here I can watch the sportive fish and seabirds skimming nigh, and watch the proud and stately ships all o'er blue waters fly. And here in grave or gayer mood, high on the waters float, and cheerly row, and cheerly row, my bonnie, bonnie boat. And cheerly row, and cheerly row, my bonnie, bonnie boat.
The heavens' ray that gilds the deep lights up my cottage home, and the swelling waves my threshold lave then break in snowy foam. And here in grave or gayer mood, high on the waters float, and cheerly row, and cheerly row, my bonnie, bonnie boat. And cheerly row, and cheerly row, my bonnie, bonnie boat. If fate should ever tempt my feet mid far-off scenes to roam, I still should think with love of thee, my rocky wave-bound home. And here in grave or gayer mood, high on the waters float, and cheerily row, and cheerily row, my bonny, bonny boat. And cheerily row, and cheerily row, my bonny, bonny boat. And here again in thought return, and on the waters float. And cheerily row, and cheerily row, my bonny, bonny boat. And cheerily row, and cheerily row, my bonny, bonny boat.
That is really lovely, and I hate to break it up.
Well, there'll be more.
I know, I'm excited. So I'm Kate Niles, and I am, among other things, your PRUCOM clerk. So PRUCOM, we moved here from Colorado. So when I first got here, I was like, what is a PRUCOM? And apparently it's some kind of regional word for board. So I'm on your board. And clerk is also known as a secretary. So what I really do is listen hard and take notes. And since I'm a therapist by profession, this is just a carryover from my day job. My husband and I moved to Providence 6 months before COVID hit, which means we really have been here about 6 years in September. Smartly, we joined First U right away, signed up for a soul circle that actually met in person a few times before that fateful March when everything closed down. And without it, and Reverend Liz's book club that took us to the Isle of Corfu, and some leadership stuff that we both did, all of it online, I think COVID would have been much, much harder on us. When we moved here from colorful Colorado, we did so in search of a walkable small city with great food nearer to family. We also made a commitment to make community our centerpiece as a couple. I had been involved with UU in Colorado, and Jonathan had started to as well. So First U made sense to us as a place to gain a foothold in Providence. It has become, of course, much more than that. People talk a lot about community here in their testimonials and elsewhere, and I want to do nothing but echo that. Both of us have felt at home in our own ways, with Jonathan often manning the video booth up above, serving on the strategic plan committee, etc., and me being deeply involved in the anti-racism efforts. Please look at your insert for the OOH weekend coming up. I'm very much involved with that. Occasional choir singing, and sucked like a moth to flame to PRUCOM. Seriously, however, I have been flirting with leadership and what that might mean for me for a long time, and doing so brings up a host of insecurities. But I have been able to learn so much from watching a truly democratic institution commit to being frustratingly and amazingly democratic. Your PRUCOM and your staff, Liz, Nancy, Roger, the two Jennifers, Walter, Jaime, all of them are role models and have taught me a great deal. They think I'm just scribbling away, taking notes, but really I am a spy for democracy. Now, I want to bring up money because that's why I'm up here. I'm already cringing. Money and church go together like fish and bicycles for me. I have an unfortunate reactionary response to asks because what pops up invariably is my grandmother in the late 1970s watching Pat Robertson or Oral Roberts on TV and no doubt giving them dough. Even at 16, I could tell these guys were just ugh. I have no idea why people don't have their creepometer out immediately with these people, but they don't. I believe the term is snake oil salesman, which I realize means they are selling nothing that actually exists, but always makes me think of their hair, which invariably seems pomaded among that set. So when I told Jonathan that because I was on PRUCOM, that we would be among the first visited, because, leadership and setting examples, we both exhibited the uneasy body language of the prudent Yankee heritage of which we are generations deep into, and kind of gurgled. I mean, we already give to the annual fund, which, by the way, is happening alongside the Capitol campaign this year. But we felt virtuous, as if we loved First U and were doing right by this, and now this? What were they going to ask for? Our firstborn? We only have one son, surely not. Would snake oil hair appear on those coming to our house to ask? Would the cast of the Book of Mormon show up? Gad, it was sort of scary. No doubt some of you secretly harbor some of these same reservations. In Durango in Colorado, where we moved from, the UU crowd were pretty much refugees from the evangelical South. Here, I smell a good dose of running from Catholicism, which I am sure has produced its own form of queasiness. But Jonathan and I talked, and it forced us to review just how much this place means for us. In an era when we as activists are hearing over and over the need for mutual aid and community support, in a time of grotesque upheaval in our beloved country, First U has become a true sanctuary at so many levels. We are both so grateful to be here and to see it growing so fast and so well. It has become a place where we can operationalize our values easily and effectively, and that is not an easy task in our culture right now. So when we sat down with, okay, I'm going to name them, Chris Campanile and Tim Burns, at the church, mind you, which eased our minds because we are really neurotic about our messy living room. If you want us to clean our house, we will invite you to dinner, and then the house will get clean. So we didn't know what to expect. But to be honest, I think we just had a discussion about that very meaning of community. I could not tell you exactly what we talked about or how that conversation went, but it was easy and sweet, and it connected us to the whole process. It was necessary, I think, to meet in person and to cement that commitment to community. Furthermore, they did not spit out a number that would make us wonder where on earth they thought we got our money from. It was almost reasonable. So Jonathan and I went home and talked some more and agreed much more easily on this time about what we could give. So I urge you, those of you who have not already met with the strategic campaign team, to do so. You can't just go online, people, and make a donation. We are not the 700 Club, okay? And I think I've replaced the word church and money with fellowship and money and community with money. And I think that's what this is really all about. So I will just end by saying that I was on the treadmill at the Y the other day, flipping through the channels, and what did I find? The 700 Club. It still exists, people. I thought Pat Robertson was dead, but anyway. His legacy lives on. So I'm digressing, but I want to end by just saying we are so grateful to be here and to be part of this campaign. Thank you for listening.
That was awesome. A comedy sketch. All right, where are we? Joy on the front lines. Lately, I've been thinking about joy on the front lines. One of the roles Elwood and I have as longtime career musicians is bringing joy in the form of music and dance and a kind of transcendence, hopefully, to folks in many settings like concerts and festivals, but also funerals, weddings, hospitals, parties, dances, nursing homes, classes, Zoom, even acquiring instruments for folks who have lost their possessions in disasters, and so much more. I have worked at Hasbro Children's Hospital for many years as a therapeutic musician in some of the most tender and delicate settings imaginable, including the pediatric ICU and the emergency department. This story took place several years ago at the Tomorrow Fund Clinic for Pediatric Cancer and Blood Disorders. He's been dropped off in the playroom. He's 5. His mother and sister go with the nurse to get the IV started. I ask him, "Would you like to open the case and take the banjo out for me? Would you like to help unpack the other instruments?" Yes. He eagerly unzips the case and looks in, then tries the toy xylophone for a moment. We start to sing Down by the Bay, and he shakes colorful fruit maracas, a banana, and an avocado. We laugh at one of the punchlines. "Did you ever see a moose kissing a goose?" And then suddenly, he's glum, slouching. A single tear rolls down his cheek. "See out there?" I say, pointing to the window into the clinic. You can see your mother and sister. They're right there. Go on out and see them. It's okay. And he goes. In 5 minutes, they're all back. His sister stands on her wheeled chemo IV base, riding it almost like a skateboard. His mother sits in the comfortable chair. We sing Old MacDonald. He hops happily on one foot and tells me that on this farm they had some fun. And I ask, what does fun say? And we sing Yahoo and Yippee. And then we sing Wake Up You Sleepyheads, where we all pretend to fall asleep mid-song, and he laughs and laughs. And the whole time I'm thinking, we can't always fix these things, not even the best doctors. We don't know how it will go with the sister, but we can be present. We can sit with the family and not be afraid of the waiting and suffering. It might turn out well, it might not. We can sing songs and try instruments and talk about music and be in it together. And maybe when this child is older, no matter how it played out, he'll remember he was not alone, he was loved, and he had some fun. In the late 80s and 90s, let me think, from about 93 to 97, I was the one who sang with the kids here. I wouldn't call it the choir director because I don't comfortably read music, so we just sang songs. It was a very fun era. And now some of those kids are in their 40s. And this is one of the songs we sang. Elwood and I met at Stone Soup Coffee House in Providence 38 years ago. And I think some of you might remember those days, especially a bastion of left-wing activism and protest singing. And we had the privilege of attending dozens of concerts a year. We were involved for decades with Stone Soup. People that were touring internationally, nationally, regionally, and locally. We got to meet and play with Pete Seeger a couple of times. It's a spectacular experience. And there was this protest singer and a singer of songs of unity that would come through from New York State, Ruth Pelham, and maybe some of you know who Ruth is. And this is one of the songs I used to sing with the kids here, The Turning of the World. And you have all the lyrics on that purple sheet. So sing with gusto. Let us sing this song for the turning of the world, that we may turn as one. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our turning. Let us sing this song for the loving of the world, that we may love as one. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our loving. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our loving. Let us sing this song for the healing of the world, that we may heal as one. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our healing. With every voice, let us sing this song for the dreaming of the world, that we may dream as one. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our dreaming. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our dreaming. And our lives will feel the echo of our healing. And our lives will feel the echo of our loving. And our lives will feel the echo of our turning.
And now is our time of greeting, where it is our chance to stand up and go see our old friends and make new friends. So let's make sure everyone who is new here feels welcome and you learn someone's name today. So if we could get up, everybody, and have a moment.
Yeah. Hi, Jim. Nice to see you. Thank you. Yeah, let me see. So after doing the meditation, and you're going to write that.
Enough?
Sure.
I never know how long to let it go.
And whenever we do the moment of silence, I could do it for like 10 minutes because I was educating Quakers, so I'm like loving it. And people are looking at me like,
Time to pause and blink your eyes.
oh yeah.
Go back to this.
Okay, if we could gather back. And before we gather in, hello everybody! Before you sit down, if everyone could turn around and wave up to the camera to say hello to the people who are not here at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, hello! And now we will settle back into our time of meditation.
We each share in grief and good fortune, often simultaneously. Author Kimberly Newton Fusco captured this thought with brevity and clarity. In the midst of loss, in the midst of loss, we are forever changed. Not so much in the losing, but in the gaining of our community, a much larger, deeper love than we could have imagined. She finishes with, lots of pain in life, lots more joy. You've got to find a way to stand through both. Have a moment of silence.
We'll play a tune called Imagine Peace by master Irish whistle player Phil Edmonds. The tune is called Imagine Peace. And while we play this, if you are a person who has lost somebody in the past year, feel free to raise your hand in silent tribute or stand up. Do any of you shop at Job Lot? Raise those hands proud. I think job lot is one of the unofficial religions of Rhode Island. I mean, that place is magic. And you can't go with a list, right? And you get there, you don't realize how many things you needed until you get there. And job lot is very awesome. I don't know if you know, they have this huge charitable foundation, a 501c3, and they donate tens of millions of dollars worth of goods and money to all kinds of situations, locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally. So check out their charitable foundation page if you're interested in learning more about what job lot does. You might notice sometimes when you go there, they're like, would you like to round up to, a dollar to support this cause? So during the pandemic, you remember that time in history. Some of us were by ourselves a lot. Some of us were maybe with one other person. Some of us were with a whole group in a small living situation. It's interesting to talk to people about all their different scenarios. And it was me and Elwood. We were very used to being together, joined at the hip all the time. So this was kind of a new level, but we weathered it very well. And we can walk to job lot from our house. I know, don't be jealous. So one day during the pandemic, Elwood walked, he probably drove to job lot. It's about 3/4 of a mile. And he came back with, I don't know what that means. He's very physically fit. That's not a dig. He came back with a map of the world from job lot. And I'm like, okay. And he put the map of the world on the kitchen wall with a couple of tacks, and he handed me a dart. And he said, wherever this lands, we'll go after the pandemic is over. I know, right? So we spent 2 weeks behind the fridge. That's it. That's my whole story.
Good morning. I'm Reese Robinson, one of your lay ministers. Now is a time that we share the joys and sorrows of this beloved community. I'm going to read from this book, which is in the back of the meeting house each week by the candles, and you are invited to write in it. This morning, A Candle of Joy from Leslie Long. Bruce and I just returned home from a magical trip to Ireland, where we were welcomed by the mayor of Providence's brand new sister city, Athlone, Ireland. Probably didn't pronounce that right. And from Carl, a candle of celebration as my wife turns an undisclosed age today. The universe cannot contain my gratitude for the good fortune of getting to share this life with the most generous heart I have ever known. Happy birthday, Carla. We love you. And an anonymous candle for birth mothers and the sacrifice they make so that their child could have a better life. A candle of sorrow from Wilma. A candle goes to one of my clients in time of need, fighting through a custody case. Hope things work out in her favor and what's in the best interest of the child. And a candle of joy from Wilma. Happy birthday to my mom. Hope she enjoys her new age with love, peace, and happiness. And from Holly Dobbs, it's my first Mother's Day. My 17-year-old daughter gave me a list of everything she likes, cross that out, loves about me.
got a mother gone to glory. I've got a mother gone to glory. Look away over yonder on the golden shore. Away up in heaven, away up in heaven, I've got a mother gone to glory. Look away over yonder on the golden shore. Some bright day I'll go and see her. Some bright day I'll go and see her. Look away over yonder on the golden shore. Away up in heaven, away up in heaven, some bright day I'll go and see her. Look away over yonder on the golden shore. I've got a father gone to glory. I've got a father gone to glory. Look away over yonder on the golden shore. Away up in heaven, away up in heaven, I've got a father gone to glory. Look away over yonder on the golden shore. Some bright day I'll go and see him. Some bright day I'll go and see him. Look away over yonder on the golden shore. Away up in heaven, away up in heaven, some bright day I'll go and see him. Look away over yonder on the golden shore. That bright day may be tomorrow. That bright day may be tomorrow. Look away over yonder on the golden shore. Away up in heaven, away up in heaven, that bright day may be tomorrow. Look away over yonder on the golden shore.
The Joy of Small Talk by Tish Harrison. This epidemic of loathing has no easy fix, but the road back to sanity and decency begins with quiet daily practices that rebuild social trust. One of them is simple chit-chatting with people we encounter in daily life, exchanging thoughts about the weather or health or family, the signposts of our common humanity. All of us are complex beings with bodies that get sick, favorite foods and movies, and common experiences and problems. We are more than the sum of our political and religious beliefs. Casual, non-threatening conversation enables us to see one another as three-dimensional and makes us feel less isolated. Small talk alone will not heal the deep divisions in our society, but it is the first baby steps of learning to live together across differences. And now a perfect song for this church called I'm Part of the Rainbow, written by upstate New York minister Glenn McClure. Let me find a pick. And you have quite a lot to do in this song, so get ready. You're going to sing with us in different parts, and we'll teach it to you. And then at the end, we're going to divide into 3 groups, approximately that's group 1, approximately that's group 2, and that's group 3, something like that. You'll be great. You have no idea. So we're going to start by singing this. Rainbow, rainbow, can I be? Sing that.
Rainbow, rainbow, can I be?
Blue as the deep blue sea. Sing that.
Blue as the deep.
And then we put it
Put them
together.
together.
Rainbow, rainbow, can I be? Blue as the deep blue sea. And then this part comes around every time. It's a little more complicated, but
With a
you'll get
different
it.
color.
You're very smart. Blue is different.
Blue is beautiful. Look, look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, look, I fly up so high. Look, look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, look, I fly up so high.
Opportunity
For harmony and more harmony.
Okay, so yeah, more harmonies. So I need to make sure I sing blue is beautiful and blue is different, or blue is different and blue is beautiful.
Sure.
Okay, which one do it? Blue is. We're gonna sing beautiful first. So we're gonna try that part again.
Yeah.
Blue is different. Blue is beautiful. That's what it is.
Look, look,
Blue is different. Blue is beautiful.
look, look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, look, I fly up so high. Look, look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, look, I fly up so high.
All right, we're starting over. Rainbow, rainbow, can I be? Sing loud.
Rainbow, rainbow, can I be?
Blue as the deep blue sea. Sing it.
Blue as the deep
And together.
sea. Rainbow, rainbow, can I be? Blue as the deep blue sea. Blue is different, blue is beautiful. Look, look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, look, I fly up so high. Look, look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, look, I fly up so high.
Rainbow, rainbow, can I be? Sing.
Rainbow, rainbow, can I be?
Green as an evergreen. Sing.
Green as an
And
evergreen.
together. Rainbow, rainbow,
Can I be?
green as an evergreen.
Green is different, green is beautiful. Look, look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, look, I fly up so high. Look, look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, look, I fly up so high.
Rainbow, rainbow, can I be?
Rainbow, rainbow, can I be?
Red as a red rose tree.
Red as a red rose tree.
Rainbow, rainbow,
can I be?
red as a red rose tree.
Red is different, red is beautiful. Look, look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, look, I fly up so high. Look, look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, look, I fly up so high.
Rainbow, rainbow, can I be?
Rainbow, rainbow, can I be?
Yellow as a bumblebee.
Yellow as a bumblebee. Rainbow, rainbow, can I be?
Yellow as a bumblebee.
Yellow is different, yellow is beautiful. Look, look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, look, I fly up so high. Look, look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, look, I fly up so high.
us. Red, green, red, green, red, green, and group 2. Purple and pink and blue. Purple and pink and blue. Keep it going. Purple and pink and blue. Purple and pink and group 3.
Purple and pink and blue. Yellow, yellow, orange. Yellow, yellow, orange. Yellow,
Keep it going.
yellow, orange.
Look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, I fly up so high. Look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, I fly up so high. Look, I'm part of the rainbow.
Yellow, yellow,
Fly up so high. Look, I'm part of the rainbow. Look, I fly up so high. Very good singing. Isn't that a fun song? Practicing joy. To use words from the Dalai Lama, how do we maintain warm-heartedness? How do we cultivate peace of mind? How can we claim joy and take good care of ourselves in wise selfishness? Is joy a form of rest? Is it contagious? Parker Palmer, teacher, author, and founder of the Center for Courage and Renewal, asks, how do we encourage seeing beauty everywhere, not only in nature, but in human nature? Becoming keenly and consistently aware of what's good, true, and beautiful, and life-giving around us and within us demands discipline. We must open our eyes, minds, and hearts and keep them open. Late poet Mary Oliver once wondered, how can we instruct ourselves over and over in joy? There's a lot of bad news out there, but there's a lot of good news as well. How do we nurture hope and keep joy alive? I recently read the fascinating and deeply relevant 2016 publication, The Book of Joy, which recounts a historical conversation between 2 dear friends, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and South African Archbishop Desmond Tutu. They talk about practicing joy in the face of the distressing realities of human suffering and other obstacles, and that joy becomes a byproduct when we practice the 8 pillars of joy: perspective, humility, humor, acceptance, forgiveness, gratitude, compassion, and generosity.
And so now we have come to our time of offering. It is my chance to be a snake oil salesman. But in my role on the worship committee, I have come to learn that our collections this year are up from prior years, which is a tremendous sign of the health of this church community and how much this means to all of us. And I am also aware that our average collections tend to be a little bit higher on weeks when Reverend Liz is in the pulpit. But I'm here to say to you that this church community has a lot to offer even when Reverend Liz is not here. I mean, am I right? So let us take this opportunity to prove the saying that past performance does not predict future earnings. And may you give as generously as you can, and your donation will be gratefully received. And we are grateful, of course, for all that you do and all that you are.
Hush, the waves are rolling in, white with foam, white with foam. Father toils amid the din, while baby sleeps at home. And hum with us if you want to. Hush, the rain sweeps o'er the fields. See the fog, the gentle mist. Mother brings the washing in, while baby sleeps at home. Hush, the winds blow wild and free through the trees. Feel the breeze. Sister seeks the wandering sheep, while baby sleeps at home. Hush, the clouds drift o'er the hills. See them glide, floating by. Brother goes to seek the cows, while baby sleeps at home. Hush, the waves are rolling in,
white with foam, white with foam. Father toils amid the din, while baby sleeps at home.
We have 3 invitations for you this week. First, come and celebrate the Art of the Atrium member artists, Vesna Longton and Eva Roselli, at the opening reception for their show called Infinite Garden, opening this Thursday, May 15th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. in coordination with Gallery Night Providence. This show delves deep into the connection between humanity, nature, and the universe. Through a variety of mediums, the exhibit invites viewers to explore how nature's spirituality and infinite dimensions shape our perceptions and experiences. This immersive collection reflects the unity of all life, encouraging a reconnection with the cosmos and the natural world. That's Thursday. Please take note in the insert in your order of service about the Owning Our History weekend this coming Friday and Saturday, culminating in a great worship with a message from Reverend Liz on Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Our week is filling up. Come see the amazing exhibit in our beautiful parlors and join the art experience on Saturday. All are welcome, and don't miss the opportunity. And lastly, if your week wasn't full enough, those of you who want to advocate for sensible gun reform, we need you at the State House in Orange in support of the assault weapons ban this upcoming Wednesday, May 14th. See Melissa Carden or Kate McGovern for t-shirts and more information at Coffee Hour. And Melissa or Kate, if you could stand up if you're here so people know how to find you. Thank you. And if you can't attend, you could submit written testimony and Melissa and Kate will show you how. Thank you.
Joy as a ballast to action. To what and to whom are we in service? How do we spark the change and progress we want? To paraphrase late civil rights activist and representative John Lewis, how do we get in good and necessary trouble? Is joy a ballast to action? Speak, discuss, delight, challenge, build, write, revel, call, march, demonstrate, donate, read, protect, risk, think, grow, run, wrestle, struggle, campaign, vote, travel, defend, help, feed, plant, dance, laugh, cry, walk, sing, have fun. We'll conclude with two quotes, first from abolitionist minister Theodore Parker. "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." And from Jewish ethical teachings, "Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now. Love mercy now. Walk humbly now. You're not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it." And our closing song, "The Rest of Our Lives," is written by Elwood. And we wish you all a happy Mother's or Mothering Day by singing a song that Elwood once wrote for and about my late mother, referencing a series of joyful conversations we had with her in the nursing home about what we all wanted to do with the rest of our lives. And while I think of it, I want to say thank you. We're not quite done yet, but thank you for having us today and for the privilege of presenting to you here at our church.
What will you do with the rest of your life?
asked her mother and asked my wife. The first one smiled and the second one said, let's talk about this when we're in bed. All these days we've had time to blink. Months gone by, we've made time to think what to do with the rest of our lives. My mother-in-law just wants to write, read some books and sleep at night. And Aubrey'd like to have some rest, regard the things for which he's blessed, like grow some flowers, plant some more next year, sing some songs, hold her husband near. What we'll do with the rest of our lives, other ones have tried to lead the way. Only you have words that can convey my view. Now I'll turn that love on you. Every day, every way I can. That's what I'll do with the rest of my life. Other ones have tried to lead the way. Only you have words that can convey my view. Now I'll turn that love on you. Every day, every way I can. That's what I'll do with the rest of my life. What we'll do with the rest of our lives. What to do with the rest of our lives. You are the church, and so am I. We carry church around us, with us, and in us. It's your faith, the one you've been working on since childhood, perhaps even before you were born. Every one of us has a right to the kingdom without needing to jump through the fire created by others. Each of us has the right to feel comfortable with our faiths, and each of us deserves to be happy. Providence Unitarian minister and friend, the late Tom Alburn, ended his services for many years with this Buddhist proverb and other thoughts. May God walk between you and harm in all the empty places you must go. In the evening of life, you will be judged by love. May all beings be happy.
Bright morning stars are rising.
Bright morning stars are rising.
Bright morning stars are rising.
Day is a breaking
in my soul. And where are our dear fathers? Oh, where are our dear fathers? They're down in the valley a praying. Day is a breaking in my soul.
And where are our dear mothers?
Oh, where are our dear mothers?
They've gone up to heaven a-shouting.
Days a breaking in my soul. And how can I be lonely when you are ever near me? Such wondrous love surrounds me. Day is a breaking in my soul.
Bright morning stars are rising.
Bright morning stars are rising.
Bright morning stars are rising.
Days a breaking in my soul.
Yes, we did things a little out of order here. We'll do the chalice extinguishing now, and we'll all say, "We carry the flame of peace and love and hope until we meet again." That was funny at the end. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
I knew I was going to